This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
It's because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I think that's taking it to another level.
Yeah. Log on and join our live conversation.
He said this as we were coming on TV.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, September 10th. I'm here with Erica Brandon, and I'm Jeff. Let's jump right in, guys. Whoa, watch it, Mike. All right, guys, new bombshells about what brought down Harvey Weinstein. The book called She Said is out today. The New York Times journalist who broke the story actually wrote it. They're talking about how Gwyneth Paltrow factors in, and Gwyneth found out Weinstein would use her name to get other women to do what he wanted. He would say things like, "Don't you want what she has?" There are more than 80 accusers. And Weinstein has denied any non-consensual acts and has pled not guilty to sexual assault charges. His trial starts in January.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of people forget how this all started and how it became like such a big Hollywood thing. Gwyneth Paltrow was one of many women's names that Harvey Weinstein was allegedly using to lure young actresses and women trying to make it into the business to insinuate that that's the way that they became famous, was to go through him. So Gwyneth spoke out, much to her credit, and I think that it was her responsibility, and that's how she ended up at the forefront of this.
Yeah, and the two writers said that she was really nervous to go on record, and that she said that she wanted her story to help recruit other actresses to get them to speak up on Harvey and the monstrous things that he was doing and he was saying. So just imagine like how worried you are, how nervous, how scared of the blowback you are, where you kind of want to be the first, but you don't want to be the only. And I think that's kind of what that was in that situation. Erica, what do you think?
Yeah, that was back in the day.
Yeah.
We're not talking about how she just said that now. We're talking about back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
When
No
she was
one wants to be the first. No one wants to be the any.
Yeah, because she was connected to Brad Pitt, right? At the time when she came out. She had did she win that Oscar with Harvey Weinstein? I don't know if she did or was about to. She just won the Oscar with Harvey Weinstein, Shakespeare in Love. So you're at the top of your career with the #1 guy in Hollywood. You got an Oscar. How are you to come out and say something against the man that gave you all of that?
Well, I would like to think that her acting skills gave her that, but I understand what you're saying. I just think that that's the time when you're asked to pay the piper.
Right, right.
Know,
and
like,
she did. She did. It's not, that was a long time ago. Today, I think people would have blown that whistle a long time ago for her to do that. It is a lot of credit. I give her a lot of credit. All right, guys, scary moments caught on tape for the Kardashian-Jenner clan. Let's get up to Raquel Villanueva. She has news at the moment.
Well, Jeff, a prowler was caught on surveillance video lurking around Kylie Jenner's home before heading over to Kim and Kanye West's house. TMZ posted this video of the intruder at Kylie Jenner's Hidden Hills home. You can see the person scanning the outdoor area at about 5 a.m. on Monday morning, possibly looking for a spare key. They didn't attempt to break into the home. Instead, they moved on to Kim and Kanye's house nearby. The person made it to the mailbox before getting chased away by security. Police are looking into the case. The homes are in a gated community, so how the person got inside remains a question.
Wow, that's scary stuff.
Yeah, when there's a will, there's a way, especially 5 a.m. So I had an intruder a month or so ago. It was 9:30 in the morning on a weekday. Yeah, that's really scary when you know someone has not only like looked into your home, but also attempted to get into it.
Right.
Obviously, she has a lot of security and surveillance, but when you're watching that from inside the home, realizing that someone's trying to get in,
yeah. And to be clear,
terrifying.
You had an intruder in your yard caught on tape. The same thing. They didn't get in, luckily, but I don't want people to get nervous that they did, right?
No, they didn't get in, luckily.
Yes.
But they were on, like, they were in my home, just not inside of my home.
I saw the video, and that was very scary.
Yeah.
Very scary. All right, guys, Teresa Giudice's husband, Joe, is begging to be released from ICE custody. Who wouldn't, right? The Real Housewives of New Jersey's husband served 3 years in prison for financial fraud, but a judge ordered Joe's deportation to Italy. The reality star is appealing that decision and believes he should be able to live at home with his family. Joe even offered to pay for his own ankle monitor. Oh, well then let him go free. His bond hearing is tomorrow.
Those things aren't expensive at all. But no, I mean, his family is doing absolutely everything they can to try and keep him at home. I mean, a couple months ago, they were talking how they've reached out to the Trump administration. And then you got the daughters who have started a petition on change.org, and I think it's up to 101,000 signatures to try and keep him at home. But there's always the other side of people who are saying this, well, you know, we have people who are down at the southern border who have been separated from their families who would like to stay in this country as well. So it's one of those things where it's like, you don't want to see someone taken away from their family, especially their kids. But at the same time, if I'm going to use that whole Fox News approach, the law is the law.
It is. You know, just because you're on reality TV doesn't mean you could beg for forgiveness and they're like, okay, we're going to let you go. That's not the way it works.
Yeah, for him, they might be deporting him just because he was on the show.
That's true, to make an example of him, too, so it could work against you.
They did it with the rapper 21 Savage. Remember, we found out they were ICE raided. I don't know if it was his studio or his home.
Oh, yeah,
he was down in Atlanta, and they shipped him back to the UK, so...
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens there. He is offering to pay for that ankle monitor. Right, keep it in mind, Jeff.
That's going to go a long way, Jeff. That's going to go a long way, of course.
All right, Billy Baldwin is opening up about his niece, Haley Baldwin, and her marriage to Justin Bieber. He tells People magazine they're a cute couple, but show business can make things complicated. He also says he'd be there for them during the tough times. Haley and Justin got married last year, but are reportedly planning a ceremony for a reception for their family and friends later this month. So that's nice of him to reach out. I mean, the Baldwin brothers had some crazy times back in the day. I'm sure they know a little bit about this, being married through crazy times. So maybe he does have something to offer.
And he said he's been married to his wife, China, I forget her, China Baldwin, or I forget her last name, for 30 plus years. China Phillips, in a showbiz marriage. And he was talking about how crazy that can get. So, like you said, they've been through some crazy times. I just feel as though, as an uncle, you have to look out for your niece. You have to show them, hey, if there's anything you need to know, anything that you need some guidance on, come to me. It's what I say to my nieces and nephews all the time. Uncle Brandon's there.
Yes. Oh, Uncle Brandon. No, you know what?
Got some stories to tell, Uncle Brandon.
Yeah, exactly. My takeaway really is that everybody has a lesson to share, whether it's don't do this because I'm going to tell you that the stove is hot so you don't have to touch it, or if it's this worked out really well, I think that you might be very blessed to follow this same guideline. So I think that really when you're talking about it, I felt like I had more to offer other people going through a divorce than I did when I thought I was like happily married.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think people would have laughed at Billy for coming out and saying this maybe just a couple of years ago about Justin Bieber and his relationship, or I don't know how long he was with Haley Baldwin. But now that it seems like they really want to make it work, that's when you offer someone your advice. You can't, until somebody's ready to do something, you can't really give them advice on something that they don't want to hear. You know what I mean?
And I'm always asking you all advices for marriage and stuff, so.
How's that working out?
Whew. We're out of time. Commercial break.
Saved by the Bell. DBL is live, and coming up, celebrity offenders. Nick Jonas is the cover boy on an Unlikely magazine, and it's upsetting his fan base. We'll show you the cover in question. And he's not the only one. Johnny Depp's ad for designer cologne is also raising eyebrows, and now he's defending it. We're going to show you that as well. Plus, could Jennifer Lopez be the next Super Bowl halftime performer? Who do you want to see rock the stage? We're sharing your DBL take coming up next.
We didn't get to this story, but
I just like to hold something.
Super shout out and congratulations to Alex Trebek.
We're gonna
back on Jeopardy. Are we gonna get back in there?
Show,
Oh, okay. Well, I jumped the gun there. But this is what we call super tease. But I saw.
I told him.
I saw a little bit of the clip this morning.
He's trying to sneak it in.
And because I was watching GMA on my phone on Hulu on the way to work this morning, and when I saw him come out, it's just one of those things where it's like your prayers kind of work, you know. Like we prayed for him here. I'm sure his family and fans prayed for him, but I was glad to see Alex back there on Jeopardy. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we're going to show
We'll
you.
be talking more about that later.
Oh, can I get the?
Welcome back to DBL. The Super Bowl is 5 months away, but rumors are already swirling about who will perform as the halftime show. There's a lot of talk that Shakira might take center stage, but multiple news agencies are reporting J-Lo and the NFL are in talks to have her headline the big game. So DBL Nation, who would you like to see perform at the halftime show? Brandon, take it away.
Here we go. Mike says it's not even close. The obvious choice is Rihanna. She has collaborated with everyone from Paul McCartney to Drizzy Drake. I'm thinking it's all about inclusion this year. So I say we go with a wide range of artists. Here we go. We got J-Lo. We've got Adele. We go older generation. Mick Jagger. Throw some Cher in there. Missy Elliott. I say it's all about inclusion, a little something for everybody. Therefore, if someone tries to hate or hate tweet, then you can't really hate too much because your genre is in there as well.
I like that idea.
I'm pitching shows today, Erica.
Okay, Sarah says, I would die to see Taylor Swift do the halftime show. She can do pop and country, so there is something for everyone. Sarah, actually, I'm going to take a page from Brandon London. But only the page about a collaboration, not that hodgepodge that he put together. Clearly, he has not curated any type of concept.
I liked it. I liked it, Brandon.
I would go.
You were doing so well,
I do believe that it's going to have something to do with Rock Nation, and there's going to be several artists, but the artists are going to come together like in a more cohesive fashion.
That sounds boring to me, but all right.
He's just going to disagree with anything he said there. All right, Teresa says Lizzo. And as an added bonus, I can't even get this out of my mouth, have the Minnesota Vikings playing the game.
You can't just throw a team in the game.
Because in the song she says, new man on the Minnesota.
she does.
I know,
That's right.
but you still can't just throw it. You could throw a mention in a song. You can't throw a team in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, especially if they're in the Bears division. I can't really talk about that because they did not do well this weekend. Anyways, getting back to the thing, you know what? I think they're going to have to go with a Miami thing here. I think J-Lo, I think Pitbull, I think Trick Daddy, I think they're Miami.
I don't think our audience knows who Trick Daddy is.
Well, then they might when it comes Super Bowl time.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of everybody connected to Miami.
Okay.
You know, so that type of let's just say Trick. Yeah, never mind.
Okay. Phil says, let's have a matchup of old and new, like Elton John, Lil Nas X, or Cher and Cardi B. I think that'll be more amazing as a whole than a single performer.
Are you Phil?
Huh?
Are you Phil?
Am I Phil?
Because you wanted all those people to come in there, too.
I'm just saying, me and Phil think alike, you know? We want to have good entertainment. I mean, first and foremost, I'm all about the football game anyway. But if I can't go and get a White Claw, I'm going to sit there and watch the halftime show. And I want to see a mix and match of different artists from all different genres. Throw some Zac Brown band in there.
Okay.
Throw some
We got it.
Yeah, there we go.
Jonathan says J-Lo J-Lo is the right choice. She can sing and dance. She can do it all. I saw her in Vegas, and the girl can put on a show. Yeah, you know, J-Lo's cool. I like J-Lo. I would like to see a mashup. Miami theme is great.
Yeah, Miami theme. But go back to Rock Nation. I know we got to go real fast. Did Kanye ever do the Super Bowl?
I don't think so.
Because that would be interesting, because Jay-Z and NFL are in talks, and you know Kanye's his boy, so that would be a great show.
Yeah, but they're like
falling out a little bit. Yeah.
Well, get back in, because I'd love to see a Kanye halftime show. All right, guys. Stephanie Jones is keeping tabs on the biggest headlines coming out of New York Fashion Week, from the really weird to inspiring. What's going on, Steph?
All right, Jeff. So a lot's going down in New York, but trust me, nothing I'm going to say will do it any justice. You need to see this for yourself. Like this bedazzled beard, for example, that's made with real crystals. I mean, there's no cutting corners at Fashion Week. And of course, even when it comes to the 5 o'clock shadow, thanks to the design studio area for this very strange look. Someone's definitely spiking their coffee pot over there. It's very strange. But another thing getting a lot of buzz was the over-the-top, absolutely unnecessary fashion show featuring Paris Hilton. Yep, that's Paris on a little Eiffel Tower. So she showed off new pieces from the luxury brand The Blondes, and it's meant to pay homage to Moulin Rouge. I mean, it makes sense, because of course, when you think of Moulin Rouge, the first person that comes to your mind naturally has to be Paris Hilton, right? I mean, no. But let's move on to my favorite story. Take a look at this young girl and remember the face. So she's the first child double amputee to walk the runway at New York Fashion Week, and she's only 9 years old. Her name is Daisy, she's fearless, and she's also from England like me, so I mean, what's not to love? So, are you surprised by these headlines? Which one would you like to rock, Jeff?
Definitely not that beard. If someone came to my house with one of those beard things, and I knew them, I'd be like, we're not home. What's your favorite stuff? I did like the little girl at the end. They sweetened me up on that, because I was about to bash Fashion Week if I didn't see that picture.
I tell you what, I was not that confident at 9 years old, so I think good on her. And she's flown all the way across the pond, and she rocked that runway. That wouldn't be that would be the last time you see this girl, I'm telling you.
And Steph, when you think of Moulin Rouge, I think of Christina Aguilera, not Paris Hilton. So.
Oh, there you go. Oh, little Kim.
Oh.
Yeah?
Good
Missy?
Yeah.
Pink? Anyone but Paris Hilton, let's be real. Oh, Maya.
There you go. I think we got them all.
Yeah.
All 7 dwarfs. All right.
The Super Bowl.
Thank you, Steph. Good job.
Thank you.
Coming up on DBL, Johnny Depp is clapping back at people who are offended by a new cologne ad he's starring in. We'll show you what all the commotion is about next.
If a dirty
Chris Maloney, welcome to Daily Blast Live. All right, let's get straight to it. Let's talk about your role in season 3 of The Handmaid's Tale.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, my love. This is Polly, who obviously has forgotten how to knock. Blessed evening, Polly.
I want to know this, and a lot of our people have asked this to ask you. How do you prepare to shoot such intense scenes? And more importantly, how does the cast, including you, decompress from all of that?
Whatever role you take on, you know, at least for me, I see what the layout is, the world you're living in, and then you just get down to personals. You make the world smaller. You make him as human as possible, and with whatever interesting quirks come to you. That's kind of the creative sauce, I guess.
Here's to your bright future. Perhaps here in D.C. Posting in D.C. will be an honor, sir.
Tell us your favorite part of working on Handmaid's Tale. What was your absolute favorite part that you'll take away with you?
I just love how they shoot the show.
Nice.
I love it. I find it one of the more cinematic shows on television. So I just was really kind of curious about, you know, whatever their theories, or, you know, something is, what's the lens and why the lens, and what kind of special filters they put, you know, just the kind of geeky stuff that I'm still just learning myself, but I found really very interesting.
You're a nerd.
That's what
It's the best. It's just like me. That's exactly right. It's amazing.
I'm a nerd, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Well, I watch every season. A lot of our DBL Nation watches, so we cannot wait to see you in this season in Handmaid's Tale, and we really, really appreciate your time, Chris. Thanks so much.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to DBL. We're dedicating this next segment to celebrities who are ticking people off. Let's start with Johnny Depp. Dior hired him to star in their new cologne ad for Sauvage, but people are offended and say it's cultural appropriation. The ad is called We Are the Land, and it features a woman wearing a wolf skin and a man dressed in traditional Native American clothes. Dancing in the desert, I'm looking at the thing while you guys are, people think it's offensive, especially since the name of the cologne is Sauvage or Savage in French. But Johnny is firing back, telling the Hollywood Reporter, quote, the film was made with a great respect for the indigenous people, not just of North America, but all over the world.
No. Go ahead, Erica.
Well,
please.
here's the issue. Although Johnny Depp is, of course, a part of it and responsible for some of it, it's really Dior who must have found out that the backlash with the Jennifer Lawrence Mexican culture, like that cultural appropriation situation worked, apparently, because they're doing it again, and now cultural appropriation is actually their marketing tool. So good on you, Dior. That's really classy.
And, you know, I understand we can put this on Dior, but this is on Johnny Depp as well, because you were made an honorary Comanche when you did, when he was Tonto and the Lone Ranger. So you already knew what the implications were going to be taking this. But Sauvage is supposed to be French or something for savage. Right. And you're talking about respecting the indigenous people when National Geographic has come out and apologized for branding indigenous people as savages, and that had made up that whole imagery of how civilization looked at people who weren't of that civilization. So, you know, Dior and Johnny Depp, you missed on this one. You missed it big time.
All right, let's see how you feel about this next story. Johnny isn't the only A-list star offending people these days. So is singer Nick Jonas. He's on the new cover of Cigar Aficionado magazine, and his diehard fans are not happy. They're even more upset over the pictures inside the magazine. People think it's irresponsible of him to promote cigar smoking. He's 26 years old, by the way.
Leave this man alone.
And it's a higher class magazine, right?
I don't care if it's high class, low class, middle
or high
class.
Times.
I'm just saying, like, I get parents want to make sure that their children's role models. You aren't going to be able to control people. And I can tell what kind of parenting you're doing if you're trying to control somebody else's child. Because what's going to happen is your child going to leave for college, and it's going to be a long time before they come back because you are thinking way too far. Way too far.
You're right.
That's what happens. I'm telling you.
And doesn't he have a new tequila line?
He has a tequila line that's coming out or that's already out. So it's one of those things, selective outrage is what I like to call it. Plus, you're so upset about him having a cigar or maybe smoking a cigar in one of the photos. Be mad at Uncle Frank for smoking a cigarette at the barbecue. You know what I mean? Like,
or when he's driving him home in the car with all the windows up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, be mad
Uncle
where you're
Frank,
supposed to
roll
be
out
mad.
a window.
Drop off the nieces and nephews smelling like a pack of Marlboros.
Come on. I don't know if that's still, well, it's got to still happen, but
yeah.
Oh, it happens, yeah.
Now it's cinnamon vape or something. I don't know. Crazy kids. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration.
What's up, Beauty Blast? I'm Dre. Talking a little beauty tea gossip. Now, a lot has been going on in the beauty world lately, but one new collaboration is setting a new record for everybody, all right? Drybar and It Cosmetics has collabed together for a brand new product launch coming August 1st. Now, can you guess what it is? Now, let's think about this. They're both cosmetic companies. Drybar does hair, It Cosmetics does skin and makeup. What could they do in common? Oh yeah, lashes. Lashes have hair, right? And we use them in makeup as well, so it kind of makes sense. Guess what? It is a mascara that they're making for us, guys. This mascara looks like it's out of this world, and it actually combines two great features from both companies. Now, It Cosmetics came into play and actually gave those great killer ingredients that it's so well known for. Biotin, collagen, and hyaluronic acid too, all to help hydrate and lift those beautiful lashes and keep them looking pretty. Drybar came in and said, let's make it look just like what everyone wants. Let's give them what they want, let's say that. Volume, guys. They actually took the idea from their volume-based hair products and they actually created this little mascara brush that looks just like their round brush. Crazy, right? Now, it even went as far as to having little yellow balls on the tips of the brush to actually separate and define the lashes, which I was like, okay, y'all might be trying it a little bit too much. Now, with this mascara, it actually is going to be having an amazing finish, and it's supposed to give you that beautiful lift and curl. So we're gonna try it out and see just how it does very soon here. Now, it launches on August 1st, so hopefully we get it once it gets into a retail store right away. So, for more beauty gossip, make sure you check out more Beauty Blast and check out my social media platforms at Jure for the Slay. We'll see you guys next time.
They say if you get the job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
And we love that at DBL. We get to tell it like it is, even if things get a little heated.
And since we're always live, you'll always see us 100% real.
But it's not just about what we think. We want your opinions on what's happening in our world.
Because we wouldn't want to do this without you.
So come on in.
And join the conversation. And we guarantee on DBL, we're never gonna hold back.
Because we talk about what you're talking about.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I'm Sam. Let's get right to it.
Welcome back to DBL. Alex Trebek just started the new season of Jeopardy! Congratulations. And the iconic and beloved host battled stage 4 pancreatic cancer and made his triumphant return to the set of the long-running game show last night. Let's take a look.
Jeopardy! Begins its 36th season on the air, and I'm happy to report I'm still here. Our champion, Jason, thank you.
You could just tell what kind of guy he is by focusing his attention for a half a second on himself and then moving on with the show.
Yeah, the only other time that he's broke was when he was thanking one of the contestants' daughters for sending a card, and he kind of got a little choked up, but it lasted like that long and then just continued on like
Real class
act.
Class act. I mean,
absolutely.
The fans just willed him back. You know, the fans, with their emotional support, willed him back, and glad to have Alex
back. And I think he absorbed that.
Yeah.
I think he absorbed that. And he, like he said, instead of just retiring or taking off, you know what? He's like, I'm going back to work. I got you, Mike. I got you, buddy. I got you. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place with our friend Big Mike over here.